Hey guys, howdy do? This is MP DeVille. What's happening? So anyhow, real quick guys, we've all been watching the Botham Jean case and so forth and so on. And first of all, we were flabbergasted that the young lady was even found guilty. But once she was found guilty, I pretty much predicted that they would only give her 10 years. And to top that off, Botham's younger brother decided to forgive the killer, the murderer of his brother, for his own reasons, for his own salvation. And what I'm seeing going around a lot on social media is the outrage as to how could he forgive her? How could he forgive her? How could he forgive her? Why did he forgive her? This, and that. But what point we're missing, folks, is that God is a forgiving God and that God is a loving God. And no matter your sin or your behavior, God loves you. God doesn't stop loving you. And one of his requests for us is to be a forgiving and loving society. So I'm saying all that to say, it's hard to forgive people. So I commend that young man. My heart goes out to him and his family and what they've been through, but I certainly commend him because I was one of those people that grew up in a situation where I saw some of the worst atrocities, I must say they were. I saw my mother practically get beat to a pulp when I was a young kid. And the person that did that to her, I despised that person. I literally went years despising that person. And that person happened to be the father of some of my siblings. And some of my younger siblings could not understand why I disliked this person so much. But what they did not understand is they did not see what I saw this person do to my mother. So in saying all that, I had a lot of animosity towards this person and this man. I had a lot of animosity, and it followed me. It followed me all the way up into my teenage years and my early adult years. And it wasn't until I started to analyze and understand generational cycles, because I keep telling you guys, it all goes back to generational cycles and generational and things that happen within a generation. Okay. So I had to learn, in order through my analyzing the situation, understanding why was this happening to our family, why did this happen to my mother, why do I have to deal with something like this, all of that stuff. Through analyzing and trying to understand that, one thing that I realized was that I had to forgive this person. I had to forgive this person as much as I did not want to, as much as I saw the brutality go on in my childhood because of him. I did not want to forgive this man. But in order for me to move forward with my life, in order for me to have a clear head about the situation and to change my mindset about the situation, I had to forgive him. And I think that's where a lot of people tend to hold grudges against other people. It's because they have a hard time forgiving people. So rather than forgiving people and moving on, you hold grudges. And that doesn't hurt anyone but you. For me, I feel like if you have it in you to go up to someone who has committed the worst thing ever and let that person know, you know what, I love you and I forgive you and I understand, that's probably almost worse than the punishment that they're going to get. Because the fact that someone can forgive you after all of the bad things that you know they've done to you, that's major. So yeah, you have to be a forgiving person, no matter how bad the person was to you, no matter what the person did to you, even something as horrific as murder. Yeah, You have to be a forgiving person, because what you also have to realize is that that person, in my situation, the despise, the way that I despise this person, I had to come to an understanding and reasoning that, you know, this person learned these behaviors from someone else also. So maybe it wasn't this person's fault that he was a woman, someone that abused their women and so forth, and cheated on their women, and used drugs and things of that nature. It was more than likely learned behaviors that he learned from his father and his people and things of that nature. And if he didn't take the time to fix himself and straighten himself out, he did what he was going to do, which was carry that on and on, because not only did he have certain traits that he represented and directed towards my mother, even his offsprings are doing some things that he did as a father. So there lies in that generational thing that passes down from one generation to the next generation. But back to the forgiving part, you have to understand that even with Amber Geiger, you have to forgive her, because who knows what she went through in her family? Who knows what she learned? She learned hate, more than likely. I saw a picture floating around with her and some family members, and one of the family members had a white supremacist sign, made the sign with his hand. So that in itself told me that she was brought up in a family, in an environment that was probably racist. And racist beget racist. And in turn, she grew up with that ingrained in her, which probably was a result, and which was the reason she felt the need to kill this young man. So, bringing it back around, folks, just letting you guys know that it's cycles, it's generational cycles, it's things that we learn and things that we pick up from other people. But forgiveness is something that you have to implement after those cycles, and to get over those cycles and to deal with those cycles, you have to learn to forgive people. So that's all I'm saying. So if you have a question as to why this young man found it in his heart to forgive her, it's because it's probably the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. It's for his own salvation, and it's to please God. So I commend him for that. So now I'm off to work. Yes, I bet you I didn't know I had another job, huh? I do. I got to do something until all these businesses get the way I want them to get. Okay, so until then, I'll see you later, folk. Bye.